and welcome to this edition of Healthy Habits. I'm Amy Davis. Today I'm at Yoga Works in El Segundo with our guest Lori Steele of Steele Yoga. She's going to show us a few poses that when done regularly can actually aid in weight loss. Lori, welcome and thank you so much for joining us again.
Thanks for having me back.
Awesome, so I'm going to cut down to the chase.
Okay.
How does something as gentle and relaxing as yoga actually aid in weight loss?
Well, we all know that yoga is really good for stretching our muscles and relaxing us and breathing. But when we're holding poses for a really long time, you're basically doing an isometric hold with your muscle at its most extended point. So you're actually building tons of strength and tons of heat the longer you hold that pose. And so that, number one, helps aid in weight loss because you're toning and strengthening your muscles. And if you're really looking at yoga in terms of a weight loss type of practice, you want to look at classes that are Vinyasa based or flow based. So what that means is basically we're going from one pose to another, continuous movement linked with breath.
So it's faster than
it's a little bit faster.
Hatha or
you're gonna, in Hatha yoga, you tend to hold your poses for a really long time. When you're doing a flow or a Vinyasa based class, you move from pose to pose, keep moving your body. You have to hold those the poses for maybe 2 or 3 breaths, but then you're gonna move directly into another one, do a little push-up in between, go back into the pose, do another push-up, go back into a pose, and that really helps to burn fat, get your metabolism up, build that muscle, and we all know that the more muscle mass we have, the more fat that we burn.
So what kind of poses are you going to recommend or show us today? Could you tell us a little bit
today
about
I'm going to run us through a flow sequence. So basically it's sun salutation C. So there's 3 different sun salutations. But C is a great one, especially for beginners, because we're not going to be, doing these crazy strong poses, but it's something to kind of get enough. So you want to actually engage your kneecaps. You want to have your quadriceps to engage. So you're just going to kind of lift your kneecaps up and then take your tailbone down towards the floor. Pull your navel in towards your spine, and then just drop your fingertips down. Nice. And you're just gonna inhale, reach your arms up as high as you can, but pull your belly in towards your spine so your core is engaged. Then exhale, extend forward as far as you can. Let your head hang. Then you're gonna bring your fingertips just below your kneecaps and sort of like a kickstand. Just inhale, straighten your arms so you have a flat back, but pull your belly in towards your spine again. And then exhale, you're gonna fold it forward. And you're gonna plant your hands. And we're just gonna step back to the top of a push-up. So here's where some of that strength building comes in. So this is called plank pose, which you're basically like a 2x4 on top of your mat. Reach back through your heels, pull your chest forward, put your navel in towards your spine. Then you're gonna just bend your knees to come onto the floor. Then you're gonna just take your heart forward and take your elbows, bend them back. So we're gonna come now down onto our chest. So our chest reaches the floor. So your booty's sticking up a little in the air, then your chin comes, and then you're gonna inhale, slide it forward into Cobra. So in Cobra, the tops of your feet press into the mat, your elbows squeeze together, you pull your shoulders back, and then you just try to drag yourself forward. So you're creating some space in your low back, but you're also working your shoulders and your triceps. And then you're gonna tuck your toes. You're gonna push back to hands and knees. So here's another little push-up. So you push back to hands and knees, and then you push into the heels of your hands. You're gonna take your hips back a little bit more. Pick your knees up off the floor, push it back to down dog. So it's sort of an inverted V. You wanna take your outer upper arms, you're gonna wrap them down towards the mat to open your shoulders. Then we inhale, you're gonna just bring that right knee up between your hands, and sometimes you have to like walk it up there, right? You're gonna bring that left knee down towards the floor. Uncurl your toes, and then we inhale. Just reach your arms up. And then just sink into that right hip. So just kind of sink down, stretching the left groin. And then we exhale, hands come down, straighten that back left leg. And again, we come back to plank, that top of a push-up. And we do that same sequence. So we're gonna come onto our knees, then lower your chest down nice and slow. Keep your belly engaged. And then your chin. And then you inhale again, Cobra. Pull your shoulders back, squeeze your elbows together, heart forward. And again, tuck your toes back to hands and knees, and then come straight back into down dog. Pick your hips up, and then we just take that on the left side. So our left foot comes between our hands. Maybe you shimmy your foot up, drop the right knee down, And then you inhale, reach your arms up, and it's really good. Squeeze your inner thighs together here, so it helps a lot with your balance, and you're working your inner thighs, right?
Right.
And then exhale.
I can feel it.
Your hands come down, and instead of going back into our push-up, we're just gonna curl into that toe, straighten our leg, take an inhale, and exhale, right foot meets the left. Then we inhale, kickstand arms, step flat back, keep your navel pulled in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms forward, come up, pull your navel in towards your spine, exhale, hands to your heart. So that was side number 1. So we do side number 2.
I could see how this helps with weight loss if that was just number 1.
Yeah, so do you want to do side number 2?
Sure.
Or okay, here we go. All right, so we'll do the same thing on the left side, okay? So inhale, we sweep our arms up. Pull that navel in, exhale, reach forward. Keep your kneecaps lifted so the front of your legs are still engaged. And then again, kickstand with your arms, flat back, pull your shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, release it down. Again, plant your hands, step back to that top of a push-up, the plank position. And if you want a little fire more here, you can hold it for a few breaths if you want, so it's all up to you. And then again, we lower down to our knees. Elbows bend back so your chest comes forward. So it's a tricep push-up as you slowly come down as slow as you can onto your chest. Your booty's up in the air, chin, and then inhale, scoop forward, cobra. You want to push those tops of your feet down, so press the tops. The tops, there you go. And now that's actually working your calves as you take your heart forward, and then you tuck your toes back under.
Okay.
And then we come to hands and knees, and then push it all the way back to down dog. This time we start with our left foot forward. So bring that forward, the right knee comes down, and again, squeeze your inner thighs together as you inhale, reach up, sink into that left hip so you can release that right groin. Nice, and exhale, hands come down, curl that back right toe under, lift the knee, come back to plank nice and strong, and again, lower knees, chest as slowly as you can, really slow, and your chin, and then feet flat on the floor, inhale. Into your cobra, beautiful, tuck your toes, push into the heels of your hands, engage your core to come back to hands and knees, push it back to down dog. Not child's pose yet.
I know, I almost did that.
Right foot comes between our hands, left knee comes down, and again, inhale, sweep up. You can really squeeze your inner thighs together and drop your tailbone down towards the floor and pull your navel up in towards your spine. It helps actually release your low back. Then exhale, hands come down. We're just gonna straighten that left leg. And then on this last one, we just bring the left foot to meet the right. So we exhale and you just kind of push it up. So you work that right glute and then flat back, the kickstand arms, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. And up. As you pull your hands into your heart, pull your low ribs in. That is 1 round of sun salutation.
Awesome. Well, thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
I feel lighter and leaner already just from doing those 2 sequences well, not sequences, but was it a sequence?
It's a sequence. Mm-hmm.
But I feel great. I'm out of breath. Again, you've done your work. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me again.
So it's so great to have you. That's going to do it for this edition of Healthy Habits. Until next time, namaste.